The Debt-Free Lifestyle by Dr. Andrew Lewson. Chapter 6. The One Thing You Must Do. Principle B. Budget instead of impulse spending. If you were given a fixed amount by your boss to plan an out-of-town seminar or excursion for your company, would you not want to make a good impression and very carefully consider and list down all the items you would need to spend on? You would probably list down the following: the number of people going, number of vans needed, cost comparison of different hotels, entrance fees, cost of breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, honoraria for the lecturers, gifts and prizes, contingencies in case of illness or accidents, and other things. In this way, you would not overspend and end up in trouble. Well, that's what budgeting is all about. Budgeting is simply having a spending plan and living within your means. You must first know how much your income is, how much your expenses are, and try to fit them together. Someone jokingly once said, "Money is like fat. There's plenty of it, but it's always in the wrong places." It's not a matter of how much you earn, it's how much you save. You may be just a domestic helper, yet you may be able to own your land if you have savings by living way within your means. Lolit was one such helper. Starting with the $4,000 monthly salary she was getting from her employer and working for more than 10 years, Lolit was able to save up and invest in a 1-hectare rice farm in southern Luzon, Philippines. One of her adult daughters is now farming that rice field. Today, it yields more than enough for the family's rice consumption throughout the year, with some to sell. People earning millions can still go bankrupt. Just search the internet by typing "millionaires who go bankrupt" and you will see many examples of valuable lessons to learn. Noah Davis wrote an article describing how famous athletes manage their wealth. He said, "Somewhere between 60% and 80% of athletes in the NBA and NFL go bankrupt within 5 years of retirement, despite making an average of $5.5 million and $1.9 million per season respectively." Former NBA player Antoine Walker earned $110 million and lost it all. NBA player Von Baker went broke despite the $93 million that teams paid him during an all-star career. Mark Brunell made $50 million over the course of his NFL career and is now $25 million in debt. Many millionaires lose their millions because, number 1, they do not know how to budget their millions wisely. Number 2, they fail to plan for the future and to set aside a portion of their income regularly. And number 3, they assume that the avalanche of blessings will keep coming. Winners of lottery and million-dollar prizes often end up with nothing at all. Similarly, poor people lose the little money they earn because they fail to plan and budget their earnings. How about you? Are you squandering millions too? You say, "No way, I don't have millions." Let's take a look at a family of 4 children. Let's say that each child has a daily habit of drinking soft drinks worth 15 pesos a bottle. In 1 year, each child would have spent 5,475. After 45 years, each would have spent 246,375. A family of 4 can spend a total of almost 1 million on soft drinks alone after 45 years of drinking soft drinks every day. I know of a family driver who earns the daily minimum wage but spends 2,000 a month on cell phone load. After 40 years of driving, he would have spent 960,000 on cell phone load alone. That's almost 1,000,000 pesos. What do you think he could have done with the 2,000 he had monthly? Later on, In chapters 13 and 14, you will discover some ideas on how to manage your money wisely. People who do not budget have money slip through their fingers. People who do will be surprised at how much they would have left if they budget well. If income exceeds expenses, then there is surplus and more happiness. If income is less than expenses, then there is deficit and sadness. Your total expenses should be less than your income. The surplus is your savings. The opposite of savings is deficit. This means you are in debt. You will not be able to arrive at a sound budget unless you first realize what your spending habits are so that you can correct them. You need to identify what you spend on, analyze these expenses, and decide on your priority expenditures. Let me walk you through these steps. First, list down all your income: salary, bonuses, love gifts, consultation fees, etc. Second, list down all your expenses every day for the next 30 days. Jot down every single thing you paid for every day, including taxi and jeepney fares, what you spent for meals, what bills you paid. Write them all down. This may be tedious, so ask for cooperation of each family member. Keep this up every day for the next 30 days. At the end of the month, sum up your total expenses. Third, categorize the kind of expenses you have listed down. Some of these may fall under one category. For example, pandesal, groceries, soft drinks, banana Q, chips, and ice cream, and lunch at fast food restaurants will fall under food. Tricycle fare, FX, and bus fare to and from the mall will fall under transportation. Rubber shoes and socks will fall under clothing. Movies will fall under recreation, and so on. You will have categories like food, transportation, utilities, salary for helpers, clothing allowance, recreation, children's tuition, gifts, etc. Fourth, determine which categories are priorities or the most necessary expenses. These are the expenses that you should allot money for each month. Slash away the things you do not need. For example, if you saw that at the end of the month you had spent $1,500 on chips, ice cream, and soda during your mall times, ask yourself, did you have to buy those junk food? Could you have set aside that money for emergencies instead? Number these priorities accordingly. If you have not done it yet, I strongly advise you to have categories like savings and emergency fund. Fifth, determine how much each month you want to spend for each item. Remember to live within your means. Your total expenses should be less than your total monthly income. The amount left over after expenses will be added to your savings. Sixth, stick to your budget as if your life depended on it. When you spend, be sure to spend only those items you listed down in your budget. Do not buy anything that is not on the list. Some people have successfully used a proven system. Use envelopes labeled according to the categories in your budget. This is where you put the money budgeted for an item. You should have envelopes categorized as follows. A. Essentials. Tithes, debt payments, utilities, tuition. Letter B. Non-essentials. Recreation, gifts, clothing allowance, others. Each envelope will contain the amount you have allocated. When you shop for food, you will spend only the money set aside in that envelope. When it runs out, that means you stop buying food. Budget realistically. Instead of allocating on a monthly basis, try allotting amounts per week or every 15 days. Pay everything in cash. Whatever you need to buy, save up for it first. Lay out the installments ahead. Before you buy, not after. Do not spend if you do not have cash. Set aside envelopes for monthly and yearly needs and for contingencies or emergencies. Yearly needs may include car registration, real estate taxes, tuition fees, house insurance, and family vacation. Teach this envelope system to your children. The earlier they see you sticking only to what is in the envelope, the faster they will learn to budget their money wisely. As you model this practice, they will carry it over to their own marriage and family lives when they manage their finances. Let your children get angry with the envelope and not with you. When your children ask you to buy candies, show them the empty envelope for groceries and say, "Uh-oh, there's no more money in the envelope." I have heard from a number of people who have successfully used the envelope system. You can also use cans or bottles to physically segregate your money and budget your expenditures. To learn more on how to budget, simply search internet for how to budget and envelope system for budgeting. Reflect. Number 1. We redefined budget to mean a spending plan. How do you feel about this? Number 2. What keeps you from sticking to your budget? In other words, what are your budget killers? Number 3. What improvements can you make in your budgeting habits? Earlier in Chapter 3, we talked about falling into improper and unwise use of credit cards. When you fail to manage them properly, what do you do? To answer this question, let's turn to Principle C.